Hi. Welcome back to my channel. In this video, we're continuing with 3D visualization using Three.js and Node-RED. But this time, I'm using a DIY 6 degree of freedom robot arm, including the gripper. I'll show you how to control this DIY robot using Node-RED, while also displaying its position and movement in real time using a 3D visualization built with Three.js. As you can see, when I move one of the robot's joints, the movement of the 3D model follows the actual robot in real time. This means we can monitor the position and movement of the physical robot directly through the 3D interface. The same principle also applies to the gripper. The gripper is made up of several links, so each part needs to move together and follow the actual robot movement. In the 3D model, the joint movements are synchronized with the physical robot, including the rotation of the joints and the opening and closing of the gripper. Node-RED acts as the main interface between the robot and the 3D visualization. It receives the robot's position data and sends the necessary commands to control the robot. This approach allows us to combine physical robot control with a digital representation of the robot, creating a simple digital twin. And because the visualization is running directly in the Node-RED dashboard, we can interact with the robot and monitor its movement from the same interface. In the next part of the video, I'll show you how the robot, Node-RED, and the Three.js 3D model are connected, and how the joint positions are synchronized between the physical robot and the virtual model. So, let's get started. Let's take a quick look at the overall connection. The robot controller uses an ESP8266 with an Ethernet connection, which is connected directly to the computer running Node-RED. For robot control, I'm using Modbus TCP communication. Node-RED sends the desired position for each robot joint by writing values to the corresponding holding registers in the ESP8266. Each joint has its own register, so Node-RED can control the position of each joint individually. The ESP8266 then reads these register values and uses them to control the robot's servo motors. This allows Node-RED to act as the main controller, while the ESP8266 handles the communication between Node-RED and the physical robot. For the 3D visualization, I designed the robot model using SketchUp. Here, you can see the complete 3D model of the DIY robot, including all 6 joints and the gripper. I also created the controller box as part of the 3D model. Inside the box, there is an ESP8266, an Ethernet module, and a servo driver used to control the robot's servos. For this project, I'll share the source code, the 3D model files, and other project files on my Gumroad page, so you can download them and try building your own version. This is the wiring guide for the controller box. First, I install the pin headers on the PCB for the ESP8266 and the Ethernet module. Next, I connect the ESP8266 to the Ethernet module to enable communication with Node-RED over Modbus TCP. After that, I wire the ESP8266 to the PCA9685 servo driver. The PCA9685 is responsible for controlling all 6 servos on the robot. By using this servo driver, we only need a few connections from the ESP8266 instead of using multiple PO pins for each servo. This makes the wiring much simpler and allows the ESP8266 to control all the robot joints efficiently. And this is the ESP8266 code that controls the robot. The code sets up the Ethernet connection and Modbus TCP server, with holding registers assigned to each robot joint. It also communicates with the PCA9685 servo driver to control all 6 servos. The code supports both automatic movement using the target positions from the holding registers, and manual movement using Modbus coil commands. It also gradually moves each joint to the target position, making the robot movement smoother. The complete code is available on my Gumroad page. Next, I import the 3D design from SketchUp into Blender for some additional configuration. In Blender, I need to prepare the robot model so it can be properly controlled later in the Three.js visualization. The first thing I configure is the pivot point and rotation axis for each joint. Each joint needs to rotate around the correct axis and from the correct position, just like the physical robot. After setting the pivot points, I test each joint by rotating it manually in Blender. This is important to make sure that the rotation behaves correctly before I export the model. Another important configuration is the parent-child hierarchy between the robot joints. For example, J1 is the parent of J2. J2 is then the parent of J3, and this continues through the other joints. So, when J1 rotates, J2, J3, J4, J5, and J6 should all move together with J1. Then, when J2 rotates, the joints after J2 should follow its movement, while J1 stays in its original position. The same principle applies to the other joints, including the gripper. This parent-child relationship is very important because it makes the 3D model behave like a real 6-axis robot arm. Once the pivot points, rotation axes, and hierarchy are configured correctly, the model is ready to be exported as GLB file and used in Three.js. This is the Node-RED flow I'm using to control the robot. First, I use input nodes to enter the target position for each robot joint. These values are then stored in flow variables. Next, the position values for all 6 joints are combined into an array. This array is then sent through Modbus TCP to the corresponding holding registers in the robot controller. So, each value in the array represents the target position of one robot joint. After sending the values to the Modbus TCP holding registers, the same joint positions are also sent to the template node. This node is responsible for updating the Three.js 3D visualization, so the virtual robot can follow the target position of each joint. Next, for storing each robot movement, I'm using a simple text file, so there's no need to install any additional database or software. After performing a movement, I can save the position through a form, and the data is stored directly in the text file. We can then access the saved movements from the file and either execute them individually or run the entire sequence automatically. For each movement, the servo position values are sent to the corresponding Modbus TCP holding registers. At the same time, the same values are also sent to the template node to update the Three.js 3D visualization. This allows the physical robot and the virtual robot to follow the same movement sequence, and this is the template node code for the Three.js visualization. The code receives the joint position values from Node-RED and stores them as the target position for each joint. It then converts the servo values into rotation angles and applies them to the corresponding joints in the 3D model. The code also handles the gripper movement, including the 2 jaws and their links. Finally, the animation loop continuously moves the 3D model toward the target position, creating a smooth and real-time robot movement. And here is the Node-RED dashboard that I'm using to control and monitor the robot. For each joint, we have an input node where we can enter the servo position directly. For example, if I change the position value of J1, the command is sent to the robot controller through Modbus TCP, and we can immediately see the physical robot moving. At the same time, the same position is sent to the Three.js visualization, so the 3D model follows the actual robot movement. The same process applies to J2. I can increase or decrease the value step by step, and the robot will move gradually to the new position. We can also control J3, J4, and J5 in exactly the same way. Each joint has its own position value, allowing us to control the robot one joint at a time. For the gripper, the movement is a little different. It is not simply rotating one object around an axis. The gripper consists of several connected parts and links, so when J6 moves, the drive mechanism, grip, and other links also move together. This makes the 3D visualization much closer to the actual mechanical movement of the physical gripper. We can also use the dashboard to record the movements that we have created. Once a movement is saved, we can select it from the list and execute that specific position again. And if we want to run the complete sequence, we can use the run all position function. The saved positions will then be executed one by one, while both the physical robot and the Three.js 3D model follow the same sequence. So, from this single dashboard, we can control the robot, monitor its movement in 3D, save positions, and run the complete robot sequence. And that's it for this project. In this video, we've seen how a DIY 6-axis robot can be connected to Node-RED using an ESP8266 and Modbus TCP, while its movement is visualized in real time using Three.js. We can control each joint, including the multi-link gripper, save different robot positions, and execute them individually or as a complete sequence. The combination of the physical robot and the 3D model also gives us a simple digital twin that can be monitored and controlled from the Node-RED dashboard. This project also shows how low-cost hardware and open-source software can be combined to create a practical robotic system with real-time 3D visualization and control. If you're interested in building the same project, I've included the source code, 3D files, and other project resources on my Gumroad page. The link is available in the video description. If you found this project useful, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for the next project. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.